Hello everybody, so today I went to do the second tower in Minecraft Dungeons and I was able to finish it in the first one, but it was absolutely one of the messiest run I ever had. I did it on Apocalypse difficulty, and let me show you some of the highlights. Of course, keep in mind this is my first one, so definitely I made some mistakes, although I was able to finish it with the gear that I picked up. It's definitely not the optimal one. Definitely, I feel that the bees can be very, very good here, especially against the bulls. You can just keep them, busy. Another thing you can actually get benefits from is Wild Rage. The idea is that some of the things that I took was actually quite similar to the things that I used in the first run. Alright, so let's take a look at the run. So the first floor were actually, well, quite easy, well, as we can expect from first floors. Maybe slightly harder than the first tower. Here I'm deciding which one should I take. I tell myself start at night or golem. Usually I go with the golem. I really love the golem, and usually I change weapon later on. But here for some reason I just kept the first weapon on and on. Don't ask me why. Because in general I just experiment with the towers, so I try to pick up different things. But again, as I told you, this is not an optimal one. Again, second floor, nothing to talk about, very, very simple. Quite a few enemies. Again, if you keep your distance a bit and just let your golem do your thing, if you decide to keep the golem, it's going to be very, very, very easy. Now here, I should have gone with the Buzzy Nest with the bees rather than the enchantment point, because they are useful, having several paths to tank out the bulls and other type of enemies, but I chose enchantment points. Just later on I realized that I should have gone with the bees instead. This level, floor 3, again, just annoying. Just keep, make sure you won't die, because you can get quite a lot of kind of stacking damage when several flowers shooting you at the same time. But again, nothing to talk about too much. Just move through, finish everything and move on. I mean, at the top there's going to be some enemies waiting for you. Again, if you take it a bit slowly, not rush, you can finish it, quite easily. However, I made a mistake. I just, was a kind of a hero and I died. You shouldn't die there, by the way. Actually, don't die. I just rushed through it. But as you can see, you can easily die here if you do a silly mistake. But again, shouldn't be hard for you. Alright, after cleaning this, I decided to go with Iron and Amulet, because still I'm, defensive-wise, I'm kind of squishy, so I decided to take it, and I think it's not a bad idea to take it early on in the tower, in the second tower. I think it's a good choice. Now you remember this one from the first tower, quite similar, just different enemies, different spawn, but overall it'll be very, very easy, and you can finish it very, very fast. It'll be over in no time. Here I decided to get the reinforced mail to get a better armor. We're already progressing, and I need the higher HP, and damage reduction is always very good, and having deflect is also good, so it's not a bad choice choosing this. Just keep in mind all the choices I made are perfect, right? Because again, I'm doing this run just for the first time, so obviously I'm trying different things, but not everything gonna be perfect. But I'm gonna mention things that I think could have been better. But choosing this armor is actually not a bad idea. And for some reason, floor 5 was so easy, you don't understand, it just was over before it even started. Just a few creepers, make sure you avoid them, and will be over very fast. Just the creepers there, just fill them with creepers. But if you have the golem, by the way, well, they will spawn the golem, and this is actually a good choice to just get the golem early on like I did. As you can see, it's over. Now, I really wanted to take the Enchanted Stone to kind of create a build for paths, but I decided just to go with another enchantment points. Again, we need enchantment points to upgrade our stuff, but in later runs I'm probably going to try something more unique and interesting. Here, just going and upgrade the armor. Yeah, usually I go with the golem, but I decided just to upgrade the armor this time around. Again, it's up to you to decide which one you want to upgrade. Let's move on. Alright, 7th floor, we have a boss fight. This is a different one, alright? And here, again, I haven't found, there's no scatter mines, I didn't find anything, special to do, but basically, you can just move around, roll around, and you'll be very, very safe, because the golem, again, is slow, and you can easily avoid the projectile attack, fast projectile, if you move around, and just wait for your cooldown, and attack the golem when you can. It just take a bit of time. but just avoid those things on the floor and you'll be just fine. Really, there's nothing really that can really like danger you too much. Just move around, avoid projectiles, and just, you know, spawn the golem and attack again until you finish everything. So keep in mind that you need to eliminate both the redstone golem and the illusioners as well. Again, as you can see here, I'm just moving around, waiting for the cooldown. This is very easy if you don't find anything special to kind of you know, make sure to finish it very, very quickly. Based on what I use, again, this is my first one, that's what I had. I need to kind of maneuver around, just, you know, take my time until I was able to finish all of them. Here I'm more aggressive, finishing the golem. Even their attacks are not that crazy, you know, with my armor, because, you know, I have a good armor. So picking that armor was actually a good choice for this boss fight. Again, just a bit more time and eventually they will be over. Now it's very, very easy. Just make sure to move around so you won't get hit. Sometimes they will just attack the golem, sometimes they'll try to use the projectile on you. But overall it's very easy, especially with the bees, as you can see, that actually spawn there. They also help me out because they just eliminate the false ones, you know, the one that actually don't deal the damage, and helps me just finish this relatively quickly. Again, very easy boss fight because you can just spend time, just move around until you finish the boss. Now, for this point around, I start choosing things that might be not optimal. I wanted to choose the bubble bow because I can upgrade it to unique. Although later on, I actually just drop it for another bow, which was a big mistake, by the way, because it doesn't have lots of ammo. It's very powerful, but doesn't have lots of ammo. It was actually a huge mistake. I'm going to show you this so you know not to do the same thing. But bubble bow is a very good bow. You can just stun enemies, you know, and deal damage at the same time. So very good for crowd control. Alright, floor 8, very easy. So I have very durable armor, so, and of course the golem, so the creepers don't really pose a lot of threat to me at this point. But again, this is quite similar to the other one, just with creepers, so make sure you just eliminate them. Same goes here, enemy, then you go up and eliminate enemies at the top, and that's it. Alright, yeah, as you can see, this is the top section. Just be careful of this creeper and you'll be fine. Now, love medallion is always good, always good. Get a love medallion. I think it's a good choice here. Can really help out. So again, getting the love medallion helps. Both in the first tower and now in the second tower is good choice as well. So get it. In floor 9, well, this is an annoying one, right? You get stuck, you need to finish this, you don't know where the enemies even are located. You can get sometimes seed, you don't know from what. But basically, just, you know, just keep yourself away, wait a bit for your cooldown, and preferably use the love medallion on those who actually spawn those plants, so you don't need to mess around with this too much. And again, this looks like a bit too tight, but again, if you have the love medallion, look at this, it just makes it a walk in the park. Alright, so again, just clear this one and let's move on. Now here I actually was tempted to get a scatter crossbow. By the way, it's still good. Scatter crossbow is very good. I think even better than the bubble with the wild rage, so you can turn enemies against themselves. So definitely, probably maybe not get the bubble and maybe go with the scatter. And of course, you can actually change it later if you want to decide to upgrade it to the harp. So again, the other build that I made for the first tower was actually not that great. So can be good here as well. Here was a big mistake. I mean, why? No reason to choose the hunter's armor. I just decided, oh, maybe there's something great happening with 2 cooldowns. Bad choice. Don't do it. Alright, so I'm sharing both the things that you shouldn't do as well, because this is my first one. I didn't really know what's going to expect. Maybe those 2 cooldowns can be good for something. So I just chose them, but nothing actually good really happens from that. Nothing too bad, but nothing that good. Better off just staying with the other one. Alright, again, another one with the plants. Takes time, I know, but again, this is very, very easy level floor as well. Now, realizing that I did a big mistake, I just used the plate armor. You know, because I knew, oh my god, this armor is just so bad. Of course, now the other options are not viable right now because I need to quickly change my armor to something better if I want to survive. I put here deflect level 3. Yeah, Sometimes just spend, by the way, this is not necessary, this is a mistake. Don't spend on that speed. Forget about it. It's a mistake. Also, by the way, on the bow, by the way, mistake. I'm just toying around with things, but definitely keep those enchantment points for the things that matter most. On the bow, again, it's not necessary. Again, mid for the cooldown if you want to have your cooldown, because there are going to be some levels with lots of small enemies. You can benefit from it, but you know, it's not a must, but it can be useful for reducing the cooldown of your artifacts. So floor 11, again, very easy one. Just, you know, make sure you eliminate enemies. Take your time and you will be fine. Very easy level. And remember, we need the enchantment points. So if you don't see anything interesting that can benefit your build, again, it doesn't have to be what I'm choosing now. Definitely there are many builds to finish it. So again, I'm just choosing another enchantment point and, you know, and put it again in the place that I think that I can benefit for most. Bonus shot here, forget about it, really. It's good actually for the bubble bow. You can actually shoot another enemy and bubble it, but forget about the extra damage, not really useful. So just one will be just fine. Now this level 12, that's why I told you with the bees can be good. Basically you need to maneuver around. You don't want to get hit with the bulls, they can kill you, and they actually killed me. You can use, you should actually attack the bull, by the way, when you actually, they are targeting you, but you can move around, get out of there. Don't corner yourself as I did, because then you just, well, it's over for you. I should just move around, and they can actually get stuck at some point, and it just buys me more time for my cooldown. But I did a mistake, went to the corner, and then nothing else I could do, just die peacefully. And yeah, that's what happened. I couldn't do anything here, as you can see. This is just over. So I died. So again, but you can maneuver around quite easily, which of course I realized after that. Definitely don't stay in the corner, just wait for your cooldown, and you'll have plenty of you know, time to evade them and attack them again, and turn other enemies into allies and toy around with them. So you can see that I can actually move around. The way they move is kind of you know, you can easily outmaneuver them if you just move around the areas. They won't be like all the time, you know, on your tail. So you can see here, they're not after me. I can go up, and they're not actually getting there. So this is actually a place, you see, they actually get stuck there, and I take advantage of that. This is a way to actually, you know, just get away from them, and, you know, take your time, have your cooldowns ready. That's the best thing I think you can do. Otherwise, if of course I found something better, I'm going to share with you. But as for now, the first one, this was a good strategy to finish it. I just lost 2 lives in really silly mistakes, as you can see. Alright, next one, keep in mind, Mystery Armor can come with different perks, by the way. So check out the perks, you can actually find something good. Although it's good health, by the way, and it has Potion Barrier. So obviously, I chose it because I really want the Potion Barrier. It's a lifesaver in many situations, especially when it was the first one and I only have 1 life left. So without this one, I probably couldn't even finish it, the first one. If I made a single mistake, I'm out. Alright, floor 13. Keep in mind, shoot them from far and make sure, you know, not to get close. And you can see you can easily eliminate them with your bow, with your path. Very easy. If you have your distance, shoot with the bow. And you can see it's very easy to take both of them out. Of course, you can activate Iron Knight Amulet, just in case. Yeah, very easy level overall. Just keep your distance and shoot. Now, it is another mystery armor. But I decided, no. Of course, I'm not going to buy one after the other. Although this one actually had a very good perks, I decided not to get it and just get a weapon with higher damage. Because look at this, I'm still using the same weapon from the start. So I wanted this one. This is very good, by the way, very, very good. But, you know, the damage reduction and ink, it was crazy. But come on, I need some melee damage. And this one has Guarding Strike, so it gives me extra protection. So definitely, considering all the mistakes that I made, this is actually a good choice. But again, you get Mystery Armor with different perks, so you can't really count on getting the ones that you want. But this one that I had was good, but I actually can get extra defense with the Guarding Strike and melee damage. So overall, it was a better choice. Alright, floor 14, by the way, Not hard, just make sure you're not overwhelmed. I personally prefer going up and clear those two very fast as I can, because otherwise you can get overwhelmed, both from the enemies that regularly spawn and the ones that actually get spawned from these dudes. So the idea, eliminate them. So I'm just get stuck there. And of course you have Love Medallion. I activate Love Medallion on the big enemies so they can help me out. And then just shoot enemies with the bubble to stun them. Help those who actually turn into my allies and just deal constant damage. As you can see here, once I got there, it was very easy to clear everything out. Alright, so that's why I did it. From that point on, a few enemies just left and it's very easy to eliminate them. You know, just take your time. Not many left. Walk in the park. Let's move on. So here I decided to take another enchantment point. And just taking a look what I can use. Electrify definitely I'm not gonna use, just waste. So definitely the highest priority was actually either going with Exploding or going with Guarding Strike. Of course Radiance is not good because this is a relatively slow weapon. Although I don't have any actually active healing, as you can see here, other than my healing potion. So I was thinking about it, but I told myself, come on, nah, not gonna do this. So I went with Exploding. But otherwise I think that Guarding Strike is actually a better choice. Alright, floor 15, well, you remember this, quite similar to the one from Tower 1. Lots of enemies, but the same thing, we are quite similar build with what we used before. With the golem, right, and we can turn enemies into allies. So the same thing, keep your distance away, we can actually go the stairs and you have time for the cooldowns and eliminating enemies. Help your golem a bit by just using the Ironhead Amulet to also not just protect yourself but your golem. And yeah, your cooldown will get ready, so you can actually kind of stun enemies a bit. Take your time and just it's going to be over very fast. Very easy level, even I think easier than the one in the first tower of the same similar level design, of course. So again, take your time, eliminate enemies. You have your, of course, all your Love Medallion stuff, so very easy. Alright, next one. Here, what should I choose? Alright, basically, not taking any chances, going with just enchantment point to make myself stronger with what I already have, and I went here with Guarding Strike. Now this level, remember the gas, but no gas tier. Luckily for us, actually this level was pretty easy. Just make sure to turn those little ones into allies. This is why the Love Medallion is so good, even in Tower 2. So definitely I will pick it up almost in every one if I really want to, have good crowd control. Keep in mind you can also use the Ironhead Amulet on the enemies that you turn into your allies to protect them even further until they die, of course, over time and just disappear. So if you do that, take your time, cooldown will be ready, you can spawn your golem and just clear this one again, step by step. Very easy level compared to the one with the gas, which was much harder than this, but quite similar design, different than the other one, but again, nothing really special. So at this point, I'm already kind of finished almost everything. Just clear the other enemies and you're good to go. At this point, actually I want to try next time the Encore, but I decided to go with the Golem, because come on, my Golem is already quite weak, and I need to be stronger. I'm really tempted to get the Encore, I really want it, but in the next one probably I will. But in this one, which was my first one, I decided that I'm gonna go with the Golem, and this is actually a good bet to have a beefier Golem with you to take on the damage and even eliminate enemies for you. So you need to get beefier, so I decided to go with the Golem at this point and replace the other one. Now, totally that I made many silly mistakes, and again, I'm just trying out things. Right? Of course, in the second round, it will be much easier for me, and I won't make the same mistakes. But basically, I've decided to go with the Bubble Burster, which even out of the tower is one of my favorite bows, if not my favorite. So I decided to use the Bubble Burster so I can chain more of these bubbles to enemies, and yeah, and it's a very powerful one, very good one. Although later on I actually changed it, and I'm not sure if this was a good choice, but again, I just did it. Alright, boss floor. Alright, we are at 18. Again, the thing is that all the bosses are quite easy. I think the tower one was harder. But basically you have both the ghast and the ender. Now if you stay away from the ghast, it won't actually shoot you. So you will actually be at the corner. So if you want to just, you know, fight with the elder, don't fight them both unless you activate potion barrier and you want to deal damage. So stay away at the bottom part and respawn your pet there, and then you can actually just deal with the elderman first, rather than both of them. Because if you be at maybe at the middle, it's still gonna attack you, the ghast. So make sure you're kind of at the bottom, it's just far away from the ghast, and it won't actually shoot you. So as you can see, I'm just taking my time to spawn my pet. You see, if I get too close, the ghastman can actually shoot me. But at this distance, I'm still safe. So I'm just focusing on the Enderman, letting my golem tank the Enderman while I'm actually shooting with the bow. Although I can actually activate my potion barrier and attacking barrier. See, it's still attacking from time to time, right? It's kind of a distance. You can actually, you know, trigger the ghast to attack. But you can see that now we're just dealing with the Enderman. So this is the way to actually easily do it. Just segment them and just deal with one at a time. Now after finishing, this one is still shooting, so of course I activate a potion barrier because it deals lots of damage. And of course damage over time as well, as you can see. Not damage one, so just damage, but if you stand on the fire, it's going to be damage over time. So basically I want to finish him already, so I need to wait a bit until I have my potion barrier ready. Health potion to activate the potion barrier and just attack him straight onto the face and eliminate him. So I'm just waiting here on the safe side. Once I have it ready, I'll attack. So once it's ready, it's very easy to eliminate him. Go on, go fast, and he's out. Now here I made the biggest mistake that I could made is choosing a bow with low amount of ammo and capacity. It's not just ammo, it's capacity. That it was just a terrible idea. I've told myself, oh, actually it's not bad, I'm gonna get wild rage, but with such a bad capacity, it's such a bad choice. You can actually choose this bow and actually deal lots of damage while charging, which is good against big enemies. You can actually go with it. I think it can be actually good choice. It's up to you. I haven't tried it, of course. This was my first run. But my biggest mistake was actually pressing the bubble burster with this exploding crossbow, which is powerful and has... but again, look at the ammo capacity. It's just terrible. So don't go with it. I mean, otherwise you create something around it. Maybe there are some ways to actually duplicate arrows, you know, with a duplication. But I didn't want to go that far, and I already skipped it, right? So basically, my build was really bad for the exploding crossbow. So if you go from what I chosen till now, don't choose the exploding crossbow. Now this is quite similar to the other one. You remember this one? Just a bit different. Now the crit response from the back with the spider. So again, very easy. Let the golem do the work and you just stay safe. It's going to be a very easy run. So let's just skip it again. Nothing really too hard. Just keep away from the creepers and let the golem do its work. Alright, at this point I'm choosing this axe. It's have a bow healing and guarding strike and option to spawn bees as well. By the way, bees can be useful at times, by the way. You can tank enemies that are close to you. It can actually be good. But again, they're not the highest priority to actually invest enchantment point in. Remember this, same thing more or less, you know, with these creepers and stuff. So again, what you can do, let the golem just do the thing. I think it's even easier than the one on Tower 1, but kind of feel quite similar. Again, keep distant, don't get exploded by the creepers, and attack these dudes that actually do AoE and finish this level. Now Gong is great in general. Actually I can drop, you don't have to, by the way, but it makes it very easy to quickly finish the last boss. So I go with it, and just in situations where you want to eliminate enemies fast that pose danger, you can do this. So I chose of course the Gong. Flow 21, very easy, really silly easy. Lots of small enemies, but you can heal when you actually hit them because you have I have leeching. So again, you can use, of course, the medallion to turn them into allies, or just use even the gong, or again, everything is just a piece of cake here. Small enemies, you can heal. You get guarding strike as well. So it just like fit perfectly for actually what I'm using now. Alright, so that's how it is. Nothing special. Finish this and let's move on. Now here this time, the Venus armor doesn't have potion barrier. So hell no, I'm not gonna choose you. And I thought, oh my god, I'm gonna choose... I wanted to replace my... and use scatter mines, by the way. So if you want maybe for the final boss, I haven't tried it, but decided not to go with scatter mines here. Stay with what I have, and I've decided, I was thinking about maybe, but actually what I have was actually very good for crowd control, and it's more useful, because usually the bosses are not hard anyway. So I decided just to go again and invest in an enchantment point. Here I just want to get the bees. You don't have to, of course, but I love the bees. So why I love crowd control? Well, for example, this level, alright, floor 22, it's not like floor 22, this one is much easier, no guards, no knights, no many people complaining about it, or of course in Tower 1 you can actually skip it. Nonetheless, this one is easier because you have crowd control, and even with what I'm using now, I still have the love medallion, and I have my golem. Just be careful not to fall into those pits, because you're gonna die from it, so don't do this. I've just used the love medallion, and it's going to be very easy. Again, love medallion makes it a walk in the park. I'm using my potion barrier here. Again, forget, my bow is really, it's good damage and stuff and everything, but again, I don't have lots of ammo, as you can see. That's why it's a great choice choosing it. If you have the bubble bow and the bubble burster here, it will be so much better. So definitely I recommend keeping the bubble burster, which can be very useful, because you're gonna have amazing crowd control. Both stunning enemies with the bubble, yeah, your golem taking damage, tanking enemies, and you have the love medallion. So keep the bubble bow if you really want to stay on the safe side, because otherwise it will be much easier for me to finish everything. Alright, you see, it's very easy. I'm saying very easy because, again, if you use it, you can see that with the crowd control, it's just easier. If you choose something else, you might have a hard time until you figure out, a proper build. Enchantment point here, and oh, I hate this bow. I don't want it, but nothing I can do right now. I made this mistake. Alright, floor 23, quite similar. Remember, this one was a bit later on the previous tower, but this one is even easier. No one of those, I don't know what they're named, that shoot like those dudes. It's much easier. Just make sure we limit those who put clouds faster. But otherwise, it's even easier than it was in Tower 1. Same design, different enemy, different spawns. But again, when you have the love medallion, I'll be fine. Here I always need to be very careful, almost died there. But if you go to the top, by the way, you can actually be safe. If you want to wait for your cooldown, just don't be close to the enemies. If I have, of course, the bubble, it was much easier for me, but I'm just staying, waiting for my cooldown. Once they're ready, I can actually go and start attacking enemies, right? So if you feel like, oh my god, you need to borrow time, just go to the top corner, just wait there, and then do a second run, and you'll finish this in no time. Alright, here I'm going at another enchantment point. I didn't find anything else that I want to invest in. In general, I'm even using weakening. By the way, it's a mistake already, because this bow is just so bad. I don't have even enough arrows. Again, don't take this bow unless you create a build for it in some way or another. If you follow what I did, don't take this bow. Stay with the bubble burster. You'll be much better with it. So this floor 24, very easy. Relatively short. I'm saying very easy because, again, there's nothing really here. I have my bees, I have my golem, I can turn enemies into allies. No really big enemies spawn here. Small enemies that you just need to clear, and you'll finish it very fast. Alright, so it's time to actually change my armor. Reinforced armor doesn't have potion barrier, but it's not really a must from that point on. I realized, of course, after, because I have, of course, much higher HP, I have damage reduction, chance to negate damage, I have chilling and snowball. So basically I'm very tanky, and there's no guest here in this level, by the way. You can see this is just enemies that I need to clear. There's no Enderman, just lots of enemies, small enemies, and you have crowd control, so you'll be just fine, right? Turn enemies into allies, stay near them so they tank the other enemies that come towards you. The gong here is not that useful at all. Again, it's be useful at the end boss. It's not really useful here. I thought they're gonna be a gas or something, so I need it, but there's nothing. But still, because we have so much crowd control, I just need to stay away. Shooting with the bow, with the bubble burster would be even easier if I kept it, but I didn't. So, waiting for the cooldown, turning enemies into LS when I need, and just do a round through and you're gonna eliminate all the enemies. Alrighty, this one, I wanted to change to this weapon. I thought, oh, maybe it would be good actually to get, you know, refreshment, having a much higher damage. But honestly, because the guarding strike is there, you shouldn't, this is much higher damage, and I actually went for it. But you can stay with the other weapon and not switch, because again, guarding strike can be very, very useful. But I can eliminate enemies faster with this one, but it's not a must, so you don't have to replace it. I did, but just checking things out. But I think guarding strike, bees, and healing, it's a better choice in general. Just keep this in mind. Although they may save higher damage, in the most cases you're probably going to do more hits, but you get much more defense and healing capabilities. Even with the refreshment here, I think I told myself, oh, there are so many enemies, maybe it's going to be good, but it's not a must. I did it, I finished it with this one, but you can actually stay with the previous weapon as well. Alright, 26, look very similar, right? Remember this one? Well, it's the same thing. You know, nothing special, clear the enemies and just moving through. I thought it's going to be something, maybe they will surprise us to death, make something really dangerous, but nothing. Just eliminate enemies, go back, there are a few spawns, a few small enemies, be careful of the creeper, and turn them into allies if you want to, and just clear this one out. Here I'm going with the golem, right? I mean, upgrading the golem. I mean, I'm checking myself, oh, anime Kunwi, this can be good. Oh, maybe I will finally just replace this damn bow. It was terrible. But I decided that none of them actually was good for me. And actually, I don't mind having a stronger golem, so I decided just to go with the golem. Now here, they actually trick you. It's the same level, you know, from Tower 1. But they won't spawn, those bulls won't spawn here. They will actually be on the other side. So the thing is that this was a terrible mess for me, because basically, again, you want to use Gong and eliminate them, but so if you want to just deal with them, you need to go to the other side. This side would actually be very easy, not a lot of enemies, but the bulls is going to be on the other side. So first of all, you can actually clear this one out, but it won't take long. The bulls are actually waiting for us on the right side. You're going to see them in a moment. I shouldn't have used the Gong, by the way, here. I should have used just the on the bull, which is kind of a mistake. And even on 2, I mean, I've used it here because on the bulls you can eliminate the bulls very fast. But then when I went to this side, then I saw the bulls. I said, oh my god, the bulls, and to help them, help. So I spawned my there. What you can do, by the way, is just use the Gong to help your pet eliminate them faster. But there was another bull who actually came, and then it was absolutely terribly wrong because, well, I needed to just run away a bit. Again, I don't have potion barrier, so what I did, came here, and then I went there, and the bull came on the platform. And once the bull is on the platform, it's really not good for you, because you need an opportunity to eliminate him, and it was, as you can see here, terrible. So again, not hard, annoying, not hard, but if you try it several times, eventually you get it. But it was just complete mess for me. But basically, if you will be the Gong on a real platform, not moving platform, and you hit him several times, you can eliminate him fast, especially if you have the Golem there to tank it. Anyway, after that, I'm looking at this, what I have here. I didn't find anything special, although the bow, I knew the bow is terrible. So I knew I need to replace it, doesn't matter with what. This was actually high damage, and you can actually have some chain reaction there and everything. I told myself that it can be good just to deal damage from far, because again, the damage of this bow, which was actually good that I have, again, capacity was terrible. So if I'm already shooting, it's better off for me to chain shots to deal damage to several enemies and, have higher capacity. So definitely I went with the bow and just replaced this terrible bow with the one that you see there, this bow. You can see the ammo capacity is much higher compared to. So yeah, so I bought it and invested in ricochet and chain reaction there. You can decide whatever you like. I personally prefer ricochet and then invest in chain reaction. And of course in Infinity, I also invested because, you know, more shots. Why not? Alright, there we go. Alright. So, Floor 28. You remember this one, the same design, but of course a bit different. But overall, again, when you have crowd control, you are doing good. You're going to be good. Now with the bow, of course, I can shoot enemies from far. And I can do chain reaction this time. Just be careful with the knights. Right there, you can turn enemies into allies. Preferably turn the knights. Alright? Because they can, well, can be very, very annoying. So, when you have the love medallion, use it. The thing is that I have also my snowball. So, if there are 1-2 enemies, it's not a big deal. Now, love medallion is ready. Turn them into allies and just go help and finish them all. Alright? So when you have crowd control, things are easy. If you even mess things up a bit with the crowd control with the love medallion, you can be just fine. Now from that point on, other than this, just move around, clear all the enemies. Similar to the other ones, you know, just a few enemies there. Eliminate the enchanted one first, the enchanters that actually cause them to be more beefier and enchanted, and then it's very easy to eliminate them without those enchantments and move on. Now here I had a dilemma. I didn't know what the boss will be, right? And I didn't have... I know that I don't have potion barrier. So basically I won't go face with the boss. If it's probably going to be a big boss. So I decided, because I don't have potion barrier, this was a calculated decision this time, to go with the bees, with the basilisk. Because I know that I'm going to go face, I might get hit. Although I'll probably go close and activate the gong. But I actually counted on a boss to be something that I won't fight a face, so I went with the business there. And it was actually a good choice, of course. Thinking retrospectively, it was a very, very good choice, and it works well. I just gilded this one. Again, doesn't really matter. Because overall, I knew that I'm going to just attack the boss from far. I, again, don't know what the boss is. Retrospectively, it was a good choice, and let's take a look at the boss fight. So, this boss is, let's say, as easy, if not easier, than the one with the Tower 1. The cubes really don't pose a danger to you. So what I did, as you can see, I stayed away. I can do lots of damage with the bow, of course, which is actually a good choice to choose this bow, especially with the Infinity. And I can use Gong. You can get close to him and activate the Gong, so you can deal more damage. I'm going to deal lots of damage with the bow. After you activate the gong, and you also, the pets will gonna deal lots of damage to the boss as well. They're also gonna attack the cubes, so they won't attack you. So basically you have a perfect, not perfect, but again a great build for the last boss, for the pets to attack it, to avoid here those cubes, and to deal damage to the boss without actually getting hit. So that's even easier than the last boss of the first one, when you have those monsters and stuff. As you can see, I'm activating the gong, and you can see there's a lots of damage that we can deal. Just staying far because this is my last health. I did mistakes there, so I don't want to die here. So Infinity works well. I can do lots of shots. Can get closer, do a gong. Very, very easy with the redstone monstrosity. Okay, I'm just shooting like crazy, dealing damage once the gong is active, and finishing him off and finishing the tower on the first run, Apocalypse difficulty. So this is it. I hope you find this one useful. It's long, I know, but some of you really want to see how I do this. Now you know what not to do and what to do, and obviously this build will actually help you out. Just remember the mistakes that I made and what not to do, and you'll finish this in no time. Again, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing to my channel. This one little like. I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Cheers.